It's Keo right here on your classic metal show from the Right to Rock release that is So Many Girls, So Little Time. And I think you can relate to that, right, Chris?
I can, man. It has been 2 years of chasing pussy and fucking not having enough time to do all the chasing that I would like to do.
But tell me the truth, as Motorhead or even Deep Purple says, yeah. Is the chase better than the catch?
You know what? I guess it depends on the chick. You know, I mean, there's been quite a few that I've chased, and once I banged them, I was like, oh, go away.
Yeah.
You know, so in those circumstances, I guess the chase was definitely better than the catch.
Right.
There's at least one that's sort of going on right now where the catch has been pretty fucking good. So,
okay.
You know, I mean, who knows, man? I mean, that could all change, I don't know, in an hour.
Sure.
You know, she's still a chick, so God knows what could fucking happen. But
right.
For now, it's okay.
Okay. As long as she's...
You don't feel like that with the chicks, man? You don't go both ways with that?
Well, I do. I mean, you know, you know my track record.
For you, I don't think the chase even matters. I don't think you like the chase. I think you hate that part.
It depends. You know, it just depends. I mean, it's been a while since I've really been into a chick that I was pursuing.
Right.
You know, but there have been girls that I've been with that were great to hang out with while it lasted.
But does it need to be full-on pursuit?
Well, you know, someone who you really want to be with or be around or whatever the case may be, and like you, it's going pretty good, and you know, you'd like to see it continue, but then you know something disrupts that flow.
Right.
And usually that something is 3 words.
What?
Where's this going?
Oh, yeah.
Where's this going?
Well, thankfully, I've stayed away from that where's this going to this point.
So far, but that usually happens between 6 months and a year.
Yeah, well, I've got a few months to go.
Yeah, so 6 months to a year, it starts in with the where's this going. Then once it gets into the second year, up to the second year, at the end of the second year, then your option sort of starts running out that if it's not going where they want it to go, then that's where it comes to an end.
Is it always the chick? Has it always been
It's always the chick.
It's never been you
No.
saying, oh, I'd really like this to go somewhere.
No,
but just
never.
wasn't in?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Really?
Nope.
Do you think that that's a product of who you attract?
It's hard to say. You know, it's hard to say because, well, here's the thing, and without getting into this long discussion here, but here's the thing. When you're with a girl, I don't care if it's somebody that you really enjoy or you got a lot in common or something, if you start thinking about the whole long-term thing, there are factors with that person that you have to start weighing in with, well, this person has this habit, or they believe this certain way, or they conduct themselves a certain way under certain circumstances.
Right.
Are you going to be able to live with that? Can you live with that? Can you tolerate it? One of the things that I seem to attract, and I don't know why this is, but I always seem to attract smokers.
Okay.
The girls that I've dated were all smokers.
Everyone?
Let me see. Let me go back. My wife was not a smoker.
Okay.
But she and I were married for 3 years. We dated for 1. So for all intents and purposes, we were together 4 years.
Okay.
The next girl I was with, I was only with her for 6 months. Smoker.
Okay.
The next girl I was with her 2 years. She made it to the 2-year mark. Smoker.
All right.
The one girl that I dated briefly between, I should go back. The one that I dated briefly for a few months in between the girl that I dated right after I got divorced and the 2-year mark, I dated her, smoker. The girl that I dated after the 2-year girl, I was with her close to 5 years, smoker.
That's the one I know, right?
No, this was before that.
Okay.
Then the girl after her, smoker.
Okay.
Let me think here. Then Gina, smoker.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Yep. Then, let's see, I came here. The blonde that you knew, she was not a smoker.
Okay.
But that went 2 years.
Right.
And then the one you've never met but you're well aware of,
yeah,
smoker.
Wow.
So
yeah, you definitely pull the smokers.
Yeah. So see if I count them on my fingers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7 out of 9 were smokers.
All right, well, here's my question for you, and I'm always curious about this because I know how you present yourself. You're not looking for a wife.
No, not at this point. No.
And you make that abundantly clear.
Yes.
From the word go.
Right.
So is all you're really doing is looking for some puss?
No. I'm here. Here's the thing. Okay. This is what I outlined from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's the girls who are being dishonest here.
Okay.
I'm the one being honest, saying this is where I'm not going with this from day one.
Right.
And their response almost every time was, I'm not looking for that either.
Sure.
But then 2 years in, then it becomes a problem that, oh, well, I've been with you for 2 years. Right. Where are we going from here?
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah. And it's just like, well, nothing's changed as far as I'm concerned. Isn't this good for you? Well, no, it's not good for me because I want to know where the security is going to be or if there's going to be a tomorrow with you.
Mm-hmm. But that tomorrow has to be a total commitment.
Yes, exactly.
Jeez.
Yep. So the being with them all the time, hanging out with them, going on vacations, going to shows, doing all kinds of activities isn't enough.
No. It's
got to be more.
So everything that they're doing, from cooking you dinner to sucking your cock, is about an end game for them.
Yes.
Wow.
For me, it's living in the moment. For them, it's building the long term. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it couldn't go into a long term. It's just that when you start bringing it up and then discussing it and going down that road, then it kind of ruins it.
What is the difference for you, since you're not looking for a wife, between dating a chick and fucking just hanging out with a buddy?
Well, it's a more intimate situation. Like a buddy, I mean, I'm not gonna hold a buddy's hand or go to a nice romantic dinner,
right?
Or have that companionship, that very close companionship.
But ultimately, you kind of want the same things: to go out, have fun, just kind of do your shit. You're not looking. I guess I don't understand where the line is between intimate relationship and marital relationship.
Well, marital relationship is that you have to accept all of their problems.
But isn't that just the advancement of the intimate relationship?
It is, but the thing is that you're marrying a problem if they have a problem that you disagree with.
Okay.
Say the smoking thing, okay? I don't live with the girls, okay? I don't let them move in and live with me.
Right.
So if I say were to ask the girl who's a smoker be my wife,
right,
she's going to move in with me, but am I going to say to her, but as an ultimatum or as a condition of marrying me and living with me, you're going to have to stop smoking?
Okay.
Now, that's saying, well, the only way that I'm going to ever marry you is if you do something or have to give up something I don't like. Now you're putting conditions on it, and as a lot of women do, you should love me regardless.
No.
But that's their attitude. And
although I'm gonna side slightly with the chick for a minute.
Uh-huh.
What's the difference between? Okay, we'll use the smoking. If the smoking would be a condition for marriage, why isn't it a condition to date them?
because I don't live with them and I only spend some hours with them, and the rest of the time they're off doing their own thing. And when they come to see me or hang out with me, they're usually all fresh and clean and cleaned up and ready to go do something. But if you live in a house where you live with a smoker, you know it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's in their clothes, it's in their hair, it's in the car, it's in everything.
Right.
And then it gets into your clothes and your hair and your car and your furniture and, whatever.
Okay.
So that's the difference. So spending a few hours at my house, you're not gonna pollute my house as a smoker.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, I just wonder where the line is drawn. That's all.
Well, then if they are a smoker and they know you don't like it, more often than not, they won't smoke in front of you.
When you're dating.
Yes.
But once you get married,
then they'll just do it all the time.
Yeah, they'll fucking bring cigars in.
Exactly.
Right.
So then there's the politeness is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to stay on your toes all the time when you're dating, and it's like, listen, I know you don't like this, so I won't smoke in front of you.
Right.
And they don't. More often than not, they don't fire up a cigarette in my house, or they don't fire up a cigarette in my car.
Right.
Or they won't fire up a cigarette, not that you can do it hardly anymore inside anywhere that you go to dinner, but they won't fire up a cigarette at the dinner table.
Right. They won't annoy you with their bullshit.
No, but if you were married to them,
right,
then they got then all the rules are off now.
So in the end, that's the difference. Is dating, they won't annoy you with their bullshit, but married, they will annoy you with.
That's what I'm saying. You take on all of it then.
Right. No, that makes sense.
That's the difference. So you get all the good stuff not being married to them, but then once you're married to them, then you got to take it all.
Well, there's just no benefit to marrying them at all.
So that's to answer your question in a nutshell, that's where it's at. But as you know me over the years, when a girl is dating me, she gets treated very well.
Sure.
Extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole thing.
Well, there it is.
But the thing is, it only lasts for 2 years, and then it gets into the whole, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, you haven't quit smoking, so you're out of here.
Yeah, basically that's it. Well, here, let me give you a perfect example.
All right.
Since we're on the subject.
Okay.
This gal that I dated right after I got divorced.
Yeah.
I was only 23 at the time, and she was 19.
Okay.
Okay. So she's 4 years younger.
Right.
Really attractive girl. She had the body type that I really liked, just kind of shorter, petite, but kind of thicker. She was pretty stacked. I called her S&S for short and stacked.
Okay.
Real shapely girl.
Right.
Well, when we were dating, she would dress up and do her hair and her makeup and stuff. I would just go to her house, pick her up. We would go to dinner, movie, concert, whatever. And she'd always be just, pristine.
Right.
Well, there was a situation where she was living with her parents, and her parents were maintaining 2 homes. They had one home where we lived in L.A., and then they had a home in Utah.
Okay.
Now, her stepfather worked for the aircraft company Northrop, and at the time, before that B-1 or B-2 bomber, that black flying wing was rolled out, he worked at the Palmdale Northrop facility, and he had a high security clearance.
Okay.
Well, when you work for the government or in a high security clearance situation like that, they keep tabs on your financial stability.
Sure, to make sure that you're not going to be susceptible to sell.
Exactly. And he was under a lot of financial stress because he was trying to maintain 2 houses.
Okay.
So they decided they were going to sell the house, and the mom and her sister and possibly her were going to move back to Utah.
Okay.
And he was going to continue working in Palmdale, California, and then go home on the weekend.
Right.
So because, we were, hot in love, I guess.
Right.
She put the screws to me saying, well, if you don't let me move in with you, then I'm going to move back to Utah with my mom and my sister, and you're not going to see me anymore.
All right.
So I really had to sit there and think about that long and hard, just really, really, really. And against my better judgment, I let her move in with me.
Oh, boy. And that went terrible.
That went south in a matter of 3 months.
Wow.
Yep. But anyway, in that short 3 months that she lived there with me,
yeah,
no more hair and makeup, no more dressing nice, rolled out of bed at noon, wouldn't clean the house. She wasn't working. I was paying all the bills.
Right.
So she just basically turned into a slob. In the short 3 months that she was living there, she wasn't dusted. You've been in my house.
Yeah, that's
I've always lived this way. Always.
That's not happening in your
life. That was the agreement. Okay, you can live here, but this is your responsibility. You need to keep the house clean. You need to do this, this, and this. You don't have to work. I'll take care of the bills. That kind of stuff.
Right.
Didn't happen. 3 months, that whole thing went down the shitter. So the high heel shoes went away, the short skirts went away, the hair and makeup went away, and I came home to a girl in sweatpants and her hair pulled back in a ponytail and no makeup.
You were like, ugh.
Yeah. So that's what I came home to.
You came home to a sister in a sloppy house.
Yeah, basically that's it.
Yuck.
And the talk about a chubby killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you
had no interest in putting the wood to it.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing too. Then you go, what's up with this? And the whole attitude is you should love me no matter what I look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, but what I was attracted to was this little hot doll.
Yeah. I didn't meet you in sweats.
Exactly.
Right.
So therein lies my psychological hang up, if you want to call it that.
Sure.
So, I've had a share of very good looking women.
I would agree.
And to have them just get all slobby on you and just stop with the looking nice, that just doesn't fly.
Yeah. Well, if they change, that's the problem. If they don't change, if that's where you start, then that's fine. If you start with that and you're okay with that, then that's cool.
Sure.
But man, if they start out, it's bait and switch.
It is, absolutely.
And you can't have that. That's fucking ridiculous.
Right. And the one girl that I was with, very attractive girl.
Right.
She gave me the whole I'm quitting smoking thing.
Okay.
And I believe that she was doing that, but she didn't quit. She was just not doing it anymore in front of me.
Right. She just, as soon as you were away, she was out.
Yeah.
And puffing.
And the reason I knew this is that I had to go to a Christmas party with her one time.
Okay.
And it was a company Christmas party for her company.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at, one of the banquet tables sitting there, and I'm looking around the room and she's nowhere to be found.
Right.
So I'm like, where the hell did she go? And I'm like looking around the banquet room and trying to see if I could find her. And I walked outside, and around the corner, she's out there smoking and with a group of friends. And I'm just like, I thought you said you quit smoking,
Well, around you I did.
That's exactly it.
Ugh.
So that's that kind of stuff that just doesn't fly.
No, that stinks.
So, regardless of that, it's not just the smoking. There's other things you have concerns with as well.
Right.
And it's just like, could I live with this?
Right.
Is this something that I could tolerate or live with? And more often than not, the answer is no. I could not live with this as this is my life.
Right.
Can't do it.
You're just so much more disciplined than me, too.
Well, that's true, too.
Because, me, I'm just good to, whatever I'm doing today is good enough for today.
Right.
And I don't even think about tomorrow. I'll worry about tomorrow.
Well, anyway, dude, that's my philosophy on chicks and women.
All right, cool.
But I'm looking at the clock here, and it's time we got a interview coming up here.
We do.
And we're going to be speaking to a member of Cage. We're going to be talking to Dave Garcia.
That's right.
And I'm going to play something from the Cage release, Darker Than Black.
All right.
And I'm going to play Eyes of...
Obsidian?
That's it, Obsidian.
Awesome.
All right, well, here it is. This is Cage with Eyes of Obsidian exclusively here
on your classic metal show.